Hey, this is René, welcome back for another video. This is the second part of the series where I show you exactly from the beginning to the upload and the finished product how to create your own product in the mql5 market. So in the first part, we already wrote the first version of the expert advisor. And at the end, I said that I will go ahead and do some tests and optimizations. And this is what I did on my server over the last night, pretty much. So here you can see some of my results. But let me show you first what I actually tested. So if we go to the overview and the settings, you can see I used the gold market, tested the last 8 or 9 years with the Ninja Turtle Scalper EA, every tick based on real ticks to get the best possible results. I of course included the, included the commission and everything, so it's as realistic as possible. And then in the inputs, if I go to overview, I can show you what I optimized here. So if we go through the inputs, I did not optimize the lots because it makes no sense. Lots don't have an impact on the strategy. Then I optimized the TP%. I chose kind of big steps, like I tested 0, 0.5, 1.5. I don't want to have too many tests here because these were already like 860 test runs, which took nearly 10 hours. So I just tried to test like bigger steps. Like I just wanted to test essentially if like the TP makes sense at all, and if it's better to choose a kind of close TP with 0.5, for example, or a big TP with like 1.5. And then I optimized the stop loss %, pretty much the same logic here. I go from 0.5 all the way to 1.5 with a total of 3 steps. Then I use TSL trigger %. Here I tested 0.1 in 0.2 steps up to 0.5, just to get a bunch of different outcomes here and to see if a very close TSL is better than a little bit more distant TSL. I did not optimize the TSL % and the TSL step %. I mean, TSL step % doesn't really make a lot of difference, I would say. It's more like this input is more that the mql5 market does not make any problem with the automatic verification or validation of the program when we upload it because there are too many operations. And then the TSL % is, I think it's 0.1. It's kind of fine. It's just a very close and narrow stop loss, which is typical for scalping strategies. So I did not really optimize this, but you could also in a second run, for example. Then for the trigger, I did not optimize this. I went with the trigger M1. I did not choose trigger tick here because a big problem with tick-based executions for scalping strategies is that, I mean, you cannot really like simulate a realistic slippage. So by using the M1 bar opening only as the entry trigger, I feel like I have the chance to reduce the impact of slippage a bit in my testing process. You could also test with tick, but as I said, you have to be careful with this. And since we use a trailing stop here, we could already assume that the live trading results will be a lot worse than the testing results. So we have to be careful here anyways, and we have to test very carefully. Then Donkin channel time frame, I tested just 1 hour and 4 hours. I did not go down to the very small time frames because from my experience, they are usually not profitable or they have a lot of problem with trading costs and everything, especially for scalping strategies. And then I optimized the Donkin channel periods. I did not optimize the magic number, the commentary, or the logs because it makes no sense, because it has no impact on the strategy. So I let this optimization run through. It was it took like 10 hours on the server, 860 backtests were done, and the results looked like this. So if we have a look at the overview here, we can quickly see that some of the tests were very good with a profit factor of 1.4. Some of the tests were good with 1.3. Some of the tests were also good. And also there were a lot of negative tests also, which is of course not great. So I went ahead and did some analysis to figure out if I can find some if I can find some similarities for the good tests. And here we can see, like, for example, the first thing that we can see is that the 4-hour tests were in general better, I would say, than the, let's say, 1 hour test. Like if we go to the losing results, to the very worst results, we can see the 1 hour is here very often. Like we can see it a lot, like 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. But if we go all the way up, we see there is more of these 4 hour tests. Like this shows that theoretically it would be better to choose a higher time frame like the 4 hour. And then I also had a look, of course, at the TP percent, the SL percent. And here we can also see for the good results, it was typically like, in general, there are always exceptions like this, but generally speaking, 1.0 and 1.5 worked better for most tests than like 0.5, I assume. Because if we go here, we see, okay, we also see 1.5, but we also see a lot of 0.5. And if we go up here, we see less of these 0.5 on average, I would say. Then TSL trigger percent, and this is where it gets a little bit tricky because we can see that 0.1 produced the best results so far and also some bad results. But also we have to be kind of careful with these 0.1 because as I said, the trailing stop loss has a, it can really be affected by slippage quite a lot, which is a big problem. So you have to be a little bit careful, and I would, for example, trust results that have, let's say, 0.3 or 0.5 as a TSL trigger a little bit more, because even if we have a lot of slippage, slippage should generally be a little bit smaller if we use 0.3 or 0.5 as a trigger for the trailing stop loss, right? And then, yeah. We can also have a look at the TP, but here we really see a wide range, and it does not really make a huge difference. Like, for example, if we see here, all of these settings are the same, just the TP is different. So we can see if we choose 0.5, 1.5, or 0 as a TP, like no TP, it makes barely any difference. So this shows that TP is not too important, and this is not really a surprise because all of these trades, or most of these trades, are actually closed because of the trailing stop loss. So in the next optimization run that I want to do, I will not include the TP, or I will just use no TP at all, or just like 1.0 or something, because it does not really seem to make a huge difference. And then, yeah, as I said, I would not really go ahead and focus too much on these 0.1 TSL trigger percent tests. What I like more is something like this, where we don't have such a huge profit factor, but we have a 0.5 TSL trigger, and this is a little bit, I mean, like just from my experience, the results could be a little bit more realistic. So if I now double click this and do a single backtest, we will then see the graph, and this is what I look at next. So we'll just wait for this test and then evaluate the graph. Okay, so this test just finished. We can see performance is going up, but this was pretty much to be expected because we had the optimization result here already. So yeah, but this is looking kind of solid. I mean, we're not winning every trade. We have drawdown periods. Everything's normal. This was the first optimization run, so great result. I have some, let's say, problems with this. One problem is that if we have a look at the chart, and if we have a look at 2015, we can see that, of course, 2015, the price was way lower because gold is just on a crazy rampage the last few months. It's just going up and up and up. And 2015, it was like half the size or half the value, or even less than it is now. Which means that also, like, if we trade in 2015 and if we have a TP and SL of, let's say, 1%, it is less than today, because back then 1% of, let's say, 1,000 was 10, and now 1% of 2,600 is 26. So the latest trades here should have a bigger impact on this performance, which is, in my opinion, not ideal. So what I want to add to the code is the chance to also add the lots as a variable lot size. So we can do a calculation based on a specific amount of money that we risk for every single trade. Yeah, this will be the first thing. Also, I want to try another trigger. I want to try a third trigger where we can use a the donkey and channel time frame as the trigger bar. So these are the things that I want to change, and then I want to do another optimization run. So if we go back to my local PC, we can find here the code. This is what I wrote together with you in the last part of this, and I want to I want to create another enumeration here. Enum volume for the volume calculation. And here, as I said, I want to have it in volume lots, and I want to have it in volume money. So here we will rename this and call it volume. And before this, we have enum volume mode. And here we choose volume lots or volume money. In this case, I will maybe choose volume, or let's choose volume lots as the default. And then the user is able to change this. Now, since I renamed the lots input, we have a problem here, and we see the unknown identifier issue. Because now we cannot just use lots here as we did before, but we will have to calculate the lots. So we say lots is equal to volume, and then we use lots here. Please realize now I use a small letter L, in case this is causing any trouble with your compiler. So here, lots. So now what happens if the user uses the variable lot size? Then we want to do the calculation, of course. So if volume mode is equal to volume money, then we want to calculate the lots. Calculate lots with a function that I am about to create. Also, to calculate the lot size, we need to know the stop loss distance. So here we will see the stop loss distance for buy positions is ask minus SL. For sell positions it is SL minus ask. So this is our stop loss distance. So now we want to calculate the lots using the function here, and the input is the stop loss points. So what we want to do is we first of all want to get some information for the current symbol. For example, we need the tick size. So we say symbol info double underscore symbol trade tick size. Then we also want the tick value. So symbol info double symbol trade tick value. And now we also need the lot size, or the lot step actually, symbol info double. So for example, it would be 0.01 or 0.1, whatever is the minimum lot step pretty much. Symbol volume step. And now we can do some calculations. So what we want to do is we want to say, so first of all, we have to divide the SL points by the tick size. So what we say is double risk. This is actually the risk per lot, because the tick size is always based on one lot. So this will be SL points divided by tick size. So this is the risk per lot. Now what we want to do is we want to say we can get the tick value, and no, wait, this is not correct. This is not the risk per lot. This is the amount of ticks. We would have to multiply with this with the tick value. So this is the risk per lot. Now we want to get the risk per lot step. This is just risk per lot multiplied with the lot step. And now we want to check how often we can use the risk per lot step with the money we want to risk. So we say volume money divided by risk per lot step And wait, this will be actually the lots, right? So this is the risk per lot step, and then we multiply it with the lot step again. I think this should be the lots, and then we return the lots. I hope that I did not mess this up. But yeah, wait, let me check this one more time. Tick size, tick value, lot step. Risk per lot. Wait, I think we don't really need this. We can just say volume. Actually, this has to be volume money. Just volume. And then here we can divide with risk per lot. And then to get the actual lot step, we then say lots divided by lot step. This has to be rounded, or we need to get rid of the digits. And then we multiply it again with the lot step. So this should make sure that we do not have any unwanted digits after or that we just get a valid lot step. Oh, and this has to be lots, of course. This is hopefully correct. Yeah, let's just give it a go. Let's just give it a small test, and then we will find out. And here this has to be SL minus bit for the execute cell function. So if we now test this in the strategy tester, we go with the volume money. Now we have to define the amount of money pretty much, or US dollar or euro, whatever your currency is. And this will be the risk then for every trade, hopefully. So let's give it a go. Okay, so here we do see the test. Let's wait for the first trade. There is the first trade. We see a volume of 0.1. Let's see what happens if we hit the stop loss. We lose 200 something. So maybe this is not a good example because we should... Wait, let's disable the trailing stop loss and let's use a volume of 5,000 so we can get the actual calculation. Because with just 200, it will always trade 0.1 lots, I think. So let's go ahead, because it's rounded in the end. We can only round based on the lot step. And if we have a too small value, it will be rounded. So yeah, so let's wait. Also, in the end, we would have to make sure if we have the min lots or the max lots, we would have to check all of this. But this is something I want to do with you once we make the upload, because it will cause some issues with the automatic validation, I think. So I don't want to fix it now. I want to fix it later, so you can see how to fix the errors with the automatic validation in the mql5 market. But yeah, here we can see the profit is around 5K. So I think the rounded calculation is correct. Of course, if you work with, if you round the values for the lot size, it's always a little bit too much, a little bit below the money you want to risk. But yeah, this is pretty much fine. I mean, to get, you could also say math floor, I think. This will round the value down, so you don't risk too much. So this is maybe the better option compared to the normalized double function. So this is for calculating the lot size. Now, as I said, I want to add another trigger. So trigger donkey and channel time frame, donkey and channel bars. I don't know how to name this. Yeah, maybe just donkey and channel bars. You can choose whatever name you like, actually. And to create this trigger, we have to check else if trigger is equal to trigger donkey and channel bars. And in this case, we say price, I close, symbol, and donkey and channel time frame, and 1. And this is it pretty much. This will make sure that we use the donkey and channel time frame now for the trigger bar. Also, there's one problem with my math floor. Oh yeah, of course, we don't need the 0 here, because we will always round to the next integer value. So yeah, this is fine like this. And if I compile this, we will see that, whoops, hopefully now we can also use the Donchian channel time frame for the trigger of the entry signal. So let's check this. So if I go to trigger Donchian channel bars, it's now part of this enumeration. Yeah, and we just give it another go. I don't change the rest of the inputs because I just want to check if this is working. So now we should open the position once the Donchian channel or the bar in the Donchian channel time frame closes above or below the Donchian channel. So let's fast forward a bit here. And yeah, we can see here the bar closed above. So with the beginning of the next bar, we open. And let's wait for the sell signal here. Same situation. The bar closed below the Donchian channel, and with the beginning of the next bar, we open. This is another chance to maybe even reduce the slippage or the risk of slippage even more. And this is a chance to create more realistic backtests, I would say. But yeah, like this, maybe it's time to do some more optimization runs. And then I don't want to overcomplicate things in this expert advisor because this is mainly about showing you how to upload programs in the mql5 market. So let me explain the changes again. We added the trigger Donchian channel bars here. We added the enum volume. We said we want to have the volume mode input and the volume input. And then I also changed, this was all the same. I added this line where I said if the trigger is trigger Donchian channel bars, we then say price equal to I close, Donchian channel time frame. And then, yeah, the rest is pretty much the same. And then I also added this or changed this here. We now calculate the lot size first. We can always use the volume, but if the volume mode is equal to volume money, then we will have to calculate the lot size with or calculate lots function based on the distance from the entry price to the stop loss. And this is what I did here in the calculate lots function. Yeah, we need the tick size, the tick value, and the lot step, and then we can do the calculation like this. It should work with any symbol. You can just try it, and that's pretty much how to calculate the lot size. Again, this expert advisor is not finished for the upload in the mql5 market. There will be many errors, many warnings, many problems. It will not be accepted. But this is exactly what this series is about. So you will see exactly how I can solve the issues and how I can prepare the expert advisor so that it is accepted by the mql5 market. But for now, I will just use this program. I will move it to my VPS. I will do another, a bunch of optimization runs. And then in the next video of the series, I think I will show you how to create the actual product in the mql5 market. So if you want to watch this, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great time and good trades. Bye.